start it off.
Yay.
I will bring us in, take us down, and
spin it around.
That's right. And you come in and spin it around.
And bring it around town.
That's
even.
right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to talk about today's subject? Should we say welcome? Should we welcome our viewers?
Welcome, viewers. You have been welcomed.
That consider yourselves super welcome, super embraced.
Super sat down.
By my co-host, Bree.
Wow, co-host?
You see? Doesn't feel right, does it?
It feels fine. I just like making this joke because it's been going for so long.
It is a good joke.
Yeah.
But also you're doing all the legwork. So
it's leg day every day.
Maybe you should do the intros and then introduce me as your co-host. Me, the host, Jordan. Hello, all.
Welcome.
Super welcome.
Only some are welcome.
You know who you are. The rest of you turn it off right now.
Right, meow.
Right this goddamn now.
Otherwise, you don't want to know.
You don't even want to know. We're going to pay someone to come to your house, and that's it. They're not going to do anything else. They're just going to come.
Tape threatening notes on your door that
Terrible.
are only mildly threatening.
Mildly threatening notes. Like what? Give me an example.
Don't step out the front door.
How will they know that unless they step out the front door?
Exactly.
It's too late now.
Yeah, and then on the back of the note it'll say, "Gotcha."
All right. Today's topic
is
that we will be talking about. Was that like ASMR in your ears? You got the headphones on. Did that feel good, or was that?
Oh, I wasn't listening to it.
Oh, you want to try again?
Sure.
Was that good in your ears?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Did you like it?
It sounds fine, but I feel like it's gonna like not be good in the ears. Bad for the ears.
It was my drum roll.
Not good for the ears.
It's great for the ears.
It's not good for the ears.
Okay.
Like the movie Wicked. You like how I freaking segued into the topic like that?
Good segue.
That was artistry at its finest.
Right, exactly.
Your Highness.
Much like the movie National Treasure.
National Treasure.
The movie was so bad.
Nicolas Cage is not bad.
He literally doesn't have a middle ground though. It's either really good or really bad.
Right.
Like,
we should have watched Longlegs. We could have done 2 movies.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to watch Longlegs and
Wicked
I wanted to watch
Longlegs.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Don't say it again.
Oh, that's the name of the movie, babe.
Well,
I can't say it again.
That's because it's 2.
Do I? I'm unfamiliar with the rules and regulations of Beetlejuice. If I say Beetlejuice, and then say other words, can I then go ahead and say Beetlejuice again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They do that in the play. She's like, Beetlejuice, and then she goes on this long, like, musical tangent, and then she does it again. And he's like, stop cock blocking me, Mom.
Mom. Get out of here, Mom.
Yeah. Anyways, what were your thoughts? Also,
yep.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I guess we should do
So
one of
many
those.
spoilers are going to be in this video. We're talking about anything and everything, frankly.
Not anything in it. Not part 2, because we don't know part 2.
Well, I have a little bit of a spoiler for part 2. Just a little bit, but it's not really a spoiler because
How dare you?
The team, no, like whoever's the director, he like made a statement about it. I'll get into it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a spoiler for a specific
See, that's why
reason.
you're the co-host.
All right. Give me your
Synopsis,
thoughts, comments, concerns. Just like what's your overall rating of the movie, and then we'll break down our favorite parts.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
5 being average.
Sure.
Am I rating this as a movie or as a musical?
As a movie.
Oh.
Because it is a movie.
It's a movie
based off of a musical.
Right.
Well, I guess it's a musical movie.
Yeah.
It's not musical theater, but it is a musical.
Right.
Like High School Musical.
Are you sure that's a musical?
I don't think so, actually. I should double check my facts from now on.
You really should. I don't think they sing enough in that movie for it to be a musical.
Honestly, I don't think you could really call it singing, so I guess that's true.
Yeah. Sorry.
Zinger.
Sorry, Disney.
A zinger.
I'd give it probably like an 8. 8.5.
8.5.
I enjoyed myself.
Also, just like a little side note, neither of us have seen the musical.
Right.
We know little to nothing about the musical.
Right.
So if you love the musical and you're like, well, why are they making a movie? This is not the space for you.
You were the people we were talking about when we said some of you weren't welcome. That's you.
You're welcome to keep your opinions to yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
You're welcome. You're welcome to shut your mouth.
Yeah, frankly.
How about that?
How about that? So anyways, yes, 8.5.
8.5.
We have not seen the musical.
Right. But upon watching it, we came up with like a bunch of headcanon and like realized the length of the lore of the Wizard of Oz, which is crazy and amazing.
Right, exactly. I do have like I got a little bit of background because it started out as book, turned into musical, turned into movie.
It started as book.
Start as book. Then go music singing. Then go music singing recorded. Movie.
Just using less and less words. Movie.
Yeah. So
TV series.
The backstory I got on the book was Elphaba is green because when her mom, and they kind of touch on it in the movie a little bit. I don't know if
maybe
they do
they'll
in the
dive
play.
into
in part 2, maybe. I don't know if they do in the musical, but basically Elphaba, her mom like takes a potion when she's pregnant with Elphaba and she turns out green. And that is why her sister did not turn out green. But did you know that the reason that Nessa can't walk is because they were scared that she was also going to turn out green. So they were giving the mom, I think they said it was like poppies. They were giving her like milk of the poppy or something like that because it's white. And they were like, just
it's
give
like
her
Game of Thrones leaking in there.
Exactly. Take away any other color besides white.
Damn.
Yeah. So they were giving her all those, but it made her mom go into labor too early.
Right.
So then she came out too early.
Right. And they do talk about that in the movie.
Did they?
Yeah.
When
they
she
first
was
become
like, it's
friends,
my fault. Right. Yeah.
She's like, tell me a secret. And
yes.
Beautiful writing, by the way. She's like, tell me a secret that you've never told anybody. And she says that, Elphaba says that to Galinda. And Galinda's like, just because that's your secret doesn't mean that it's true.
Yeah. Amazing. Loved that.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Strong.
I also loved the drama.
The drama.
Really? I told you a really good one. And she goes and lays on the bed. She like flops down on the bed.
Exactly. It was like acting that would have been considered tacky had it like not been performed so well, I think.
Yeah.
Like had there just been like a little bit less or a little bit more of the tackiness, then it would have been bad acting.
Yeah.
But Ariana Grande really hit that sweet spot, and she was absolutely my favorite character.
Oh, 100%.
In that musical film.
Right. And she was like doing it so ironically too.
Right.
And that I think that's what, if she was doing it unironically,
Right.
Like,
right, exactly.
It would have changed the vibe. But you could tell when she went and like dramally flopped on the bed.
Right, all the hair flops.
It was
or flips rather.
Yeah. So ironic.
Yeah. We're gonna start seeing a lot of that, fellas. So get ready for
it's already
hair
started.
Flips. Yeah. I'm just warning our fella listeners.
Yeah, fellow.
Welcome to the fellowship.
Yeah, and like I'm like really glad. So they had like a list of people, like they released a list of people that like tried out for Glinda, and I am really glad that they chose Ariana Grande because
Grande.
I'm literally so happy they chose Ariana Grande.
I'm having a very good time at this musical, and Ariana Grande comes out. I'm having a really good time at this musical.
Like I can't even remember who all the other people were, but everybody was so mad that Jessie J didn't like audition for it. I'm like, but they wanted Jessie J as Elphaba, but I honestly think they could not have picked a better Elphaba.
Elphaba,
Cynthia,
you're gonna be Elphaba.
Cynthia Erivo was so good in that movie.
She was amazing.
So I literally only watched the movie. I only wanted to watch the movie because Ariana Grande was in it, and I love that bitch. I love everything she does.
Right.
I will support her till the death. Peace up.
A-Town down.
A-Town down.
Welcome to the musical podcast. Don't mind us while we break into song here and there.
And here's the thing, though. I love everything Ariana Grande does. And I think her voice was amazing in this movie. She went through like before she even got the part, she started doing vocal training to retrain her like throat muscles and shit to sing the way that Glinda does. Right? But there is something about Cynthia Erivo's voice that just hits different. It doesn't matter what she's singing. Yeah. Her voice instantly gives me goosebumps head to toe. Yeah. And like Ariana Grande's voice, love it. I love her so much. Right. But it was just literally, I'll like put it on in the car and it's like instant goosebumps head to toe. She's amazing. She played that part so well.
Yeah, I think she was the best singer in the musical.
Oh, 100%.
But Ariana Grande was like my favorite actor.
Right, exactly.
Which is like, that's kind of what you want. A musical is like two stars shining equally as bright in their like, not respective, but in their like whatever.
Right. And I never got the sense that they were like battling. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like trying to outdo each other.
Right. Because the characters were doing that, so it all felt playful. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like since they spent so much time together, they like became like BFFs IRL, and I think that like that made their voices blend so much better together because like they genuinely just love and care for each other. So when they were singing together, you really get that sense. Like in the last song, Defying Gravity, they're like singing to each other. There's tears and everything. And like, I think their voices go so good together.
Yeah, right.
They're like so different, but it like when they're singing together, I can like barely tell who is who.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so good.
Yeah.
And, like, when they do Defying Gravity, if I go and listen to, like, the original one, I'm like, good song. I listen to the one where Cynthia Erivo is singing, and it literally is, like, tear-jerking. How did she make a song like that? And that's why I think that, like, she was just a little bit better on the vocals for me. Right. Because, like, she really put that, like, oomph in there. It, like, makes me want to cry every time I listen to that song. Oh, also, the thing that I wanted to tell you earlier is apparently, and I don't know how true this is because, I just kind of read it in passing today, but apparently Ariana Grande is getting paid $14 million for this movie.
Sure.
And Cynthia Erivo is only getting paid $1 million.
I believe it.
I also believe it because she's not as big of a star and whatever.
People aren't going to see Wicked.
They're going to see it for Ariana Grande.
Right, exactly.
Right. And I just thought that was crazy though.
Yeah.
Because it's like once you saw what she can do, you should have upped it at least a little bit.
Right.
I think the gap there is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, that's unfair, and I think the feminists should really, step up and say something. It's not fair that Ariana Grande is getting paid more.
Yeah, what the hell, feminists?
You're failing.
Get on that shit.
Right. I was gonna say something. Oh, so one of the big differences from movie to the Wicked musical was that they don't have the ruby slippers. They have the shiny silver slippers.
Incorrect. That's the difference between The Wizard of Oz and Wicked.
The movie and Wicked. That's what I said.
You said did you say that?
Or am I said
I thought you said the musical.
No. Well, The Wizard of Oz, I guess. Was The Wizard of Oz a musical too?
It was a musical.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that is also because they were not originally red. In the book, they are silver slippers. The Wizard of Oz changed it because they went from black and white to color, and they wanted the slippers to really contrast against the yellow brick road.
Right.
So they did not start out as red. That's strictly a Wizard of Oz thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did have like Easter eggs in the movie. Like you see the red slipper. She hands the red slippers
during
to her.
the song Popular.
Exactly. Yeah, and I like that they did that. And not only that, like apparently the director came out and said that the Easter egg in the very beginning of the movie is you can see like Dorothy and everybody walking down the yellow brick road towards the Emerald City. I didn't know that was an Easter egg because it was so just like out in plain sight. But he said it was like a little nod to
in Wicked.
Yeah. Did you not catch it?
I didn't see Dorothy in Wicked.
Really?
Yeah, I saw the yellow brick road, but that they painted wrong.
They painted wrong?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like in the Wizard of Oz, there's like a red brick road and a yellow brick road.
The red one leads to the Wicked Witch's castle.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I didn't know that. They should have went there.
Frankly, it would have been so much easier. Cut out the middleman.
Yeah, right. Go dump some water on that
right.
wicked woman. But little do you know, before you start the movie, Wicked, the Wicked Witch is not so wicked. Not so wicked.
Oh, the other Easter egg, it literally had me like almost crying this morning. I was watching TikTok, and apparently, you know, the very opening song where they're No One Mourns the Wicked, and they're burning the big statue of the Wicked Witch.
Man, yeah.
Ariana Grande, Glinda is singing about herself. Because of what she did to her best friend. She abandoned her best friend. Oh. So she's like, no one mourns the wicked, like the wicked die alone and stuff like that. And she's like singing about herself because she feels bad for what she did to her best friend, her BFF. Oh. Isn't that so sad?
Rough city.
Rough city, bitch.
Rough city, bitch. But here's the thing. What's her name? Elphaba was fighting for the right for animals to be able to walk and talk and be a part of society.
Yeah.
But Galinda was not about that shit.
She wanted to just fall in line. She didn't want that heat. She didn't want that smoke or that trouble.
Right.
And Defying Gravity is like where Elphaba finally convinces her, like, come with me. We could do great things together. We're going to stop him. And she finally gets convinced. And then the guards come in and they snatch her up and stuff. So then Elphaba is like, well, it would probably be better if I just ditch her because I don't want to drag her into all this. Right. She could probably still convince them that she was trying to stop me, you know?
Right. So is she wicked for not wanting animals to walk and talk?
I feel like we're going to get a little bit more as to why she's wicked in the second part.
Yeah.
But I think that probably does play a role in it. Or the fact that she was like, you know, in Defying Gravity, she's like, you can still be with the wizard. Like, just say you're sorry. Yeah. You know? Trying to convince her that, like, just to turn a blind eye to it. And, like, if it won't affect her if she doesn't. And she's like, hell no, I ain't down for all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I believe that the animals were... Sorry I'm harping on the animals so much. I just love animals.
So did Elphaba.
Yeah, right.
You're next.
I think that the animals were more inherently magic than people were.
Yes, because of the thing. Explain the thing.
With in the beginning?
Yeah, with the mural thing.
Okay, so like in the beginning... Elphaba's little sister, Nessa, is being carted off against her will.
She wanted to be that independent woman.
Right. She wanted to roll her own wheels, which, right on, babe.
Oh, she is in a wheelchair, for anybody that doesn't know.
Super in a wheelchair. Because of the milk of the poppy. We did explain that a little bit earlier.
Yep, and the actress is also actually in a wheelchair. So they got an actress that...
Probably not for the same reason, but yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, right.
Probably
she's
for
not in the wheelchair because of the poppy.
Right. Yeah. We learned from our mistakes. So Elphaba is like, nah, bitch, put her down. So she lifts everybody up. like
magically.
Exactly. Lifted everyone up with her hands and her mind and her emotions that she doesn't know how to control. And when she does that, she flings like a bench or something powerful enough to destroy stone. And
a stone bench, obviously.
Rock beats rock. So and she hit the emblem or some medallion that is in front of the school that has the face of the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Right. And shatters this medallion and reveals behind it another medallion of like the bear and like a goat.
A bear and I think maybe a skunk, if I'm being honest.
Like a mink or something like that. Maybe a stoat or a pine marten.
You're what?
There's a lot of weasels, is what I'm saying.
Why do you look? I will be like, "Wow, that's a pretty bird," and he'll be like, "That's an Eastern corntail, European, Venezuelan."
Cackled in your ear, folks. But yeah, I like animals.
He likes animals. He just knows all these animals. See, the last 3 animals you just said, no idea what
they're
those are.
all the same animal.
Okay,
they're all different kinds of weasels.
Okay.
Weasel
your way out of that one.
So, yeah, revealing that not only did like the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, this is our theory, though. We don't know for sure. Nobody they literally don't touch on that at all. Nobody's like, why are there bears on that?
Right.
Like literally, they just glaze over it.
Yeah.
So our theory, since we have not seen the musical, the people who have seen the musical probably already know the answer to this.
Yeah, sitting with bated breath, waiting for our theory.
Also, we don't want spoilers for the second part. I just want to put that out there right now. If you've seen the musical and you know what's going to happen, please don't tell us.
But we do want you to engage with our forum. You know? Just not with spoilers.
You can correct us on the first part. Please don't correct us on the second part just yet. Right. It comes out next year.
Right. Same time, same place.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I believe that the animals were the domineering force in this land of Oz, which I'm sure
wizards.
Probably wasn't called that when the animals were running shit.
What if it was like the land of Oswald and it was named after their king bear?
That'd be adorable.
A
bear named Oswald? That's a good name for a bear.
Fuck me up, fam.
That bear can definitely like stand on a ball, you know, like and roll about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But we believe, or I believe, I don't know. You
we'll see.
You join me? Okay.
We'll see what you say.
Well, I believe that the animals were the domineering force, and they were like more innately magic,
right?
Than
and they were like
are.
Beat into submission by this new wizard,
because that's what happens when you have power. Is like people are gonna want to take that from you,
right?
And another thing is that when you're watching it, you realize there's only like 1 or 2 people, or maybe 3 people potentially, that have magic in the world.
Right, yeah.
There's the headmaster
Shiz.
of Shiz, who is
Madame Morrible.
Morrible. Madame Horrible.
Madame Horrible, frankly.
Sang it, girl. What?
Yeah. Oh, and the thing that you said about her controlling the weather.
I was just about to get into that.
I didn't even notice that until you pointed it out.
Yeah.
Go ahead with your theory, baby.
So, like, it's got to have a kryptonite as well.
The power, yes.
The power. So I believe that it is, like how the Wicked Witch of the West went out. Elphaba went out.
Well,
in
they do.
Oz
They do point
water.
that out in the beginning of the movie when they're like, "She's dead,"
right?
Because a little girl threw a bucket of water on her. Right. But I don't think at that point in time in the music or the movie that people knew that. And I didn't even it didn't click in my brain because she goes and she is like, weather is my specialty, and she makes the rain go away.
Right.
But the only other person that she protects from the rain is Elphaba.
With an umbrella.
Right.
Right. And she makes it a point to also be under the umbrella as well. So, which, you might say, oh, well, Galinda didn't get under the
Oh,
umbrella.
we have a theory about that.
She is probably not magic.
Yeah, because we don't, in the first part, we don't see her use magic at all.
We actually see her fail at attempting to use magic.
Ball gown. And she brings the wand up and she just brings it all the way to the ground going,
She's
ball gown.
She's trying her best. She's
trying to make Elphaba's outfit turn into a ball gown.
It's strange because she went there to that school to study magic, but it seems that she does not have any grasp on like the logistics of using magic.
Right. She wanted to get into Madame Morrible's sorcery class real bad.
Right.
And she looked at her and she was like, I don't see it with you. Like,
right.
I really don't think you have the gift. Try to prove me wrong, but I don't think you will.
Right. Right. And like the way that magic is done in the movie, or at least is that there's a book with an ancient language that nobody can read.
Literally not one person alive. Even Madame Morrible is like, I can only make out a few words, and we don't even know if she was lying or not. I feel like she was.
Right. No, because she does have magic.
She does, but that doesn't mean that
when she was casting spells on the weather, was that speaking magic, or was she just kind of waving
I think
about?
she just waved her hand.
So the weakness being water,
right?
On magic people. Oh,
I want to know why.
And the theory about, I don't know. That's a good question.
I want them to tell me why in the second part.
So, what was it? What's her name? Not Elphaba, the other one. Galinda. The only magic that we see her doing is the bubble magic.
Right, and that could not even be magic.
Right, because she's sitting in a chair.
Yeah.
And that could just be technology at its finest. Right, providing transportation in that fashion.
Right. Or that wand that she has magic in it.
Possesses the magic.
Mm-hmm, she doesn't have any.
Because they say wands, what's the point? Sheesh,
and Elphaba does not use a wand.
No,
ever.
She does not. Right.
Yeah.
She's all fingers.
All fingers.
All fingers
no
and
toes.
this one.
Oh, I said
No
all fingers, no toes. She's just got fingers for toes. That's why her shoes are shaped like that.
That's why she likes the flying monkeys so much. That's what it is. She feels a real kinship with them.
So when we were watching the movie, as soon as Jeff Goldblum got on that screen, I was like, he's the bad guy. I don't know what it was.
He's not the bad guy.
He is the bad guy.
Why? Because he doesn't like animals?
And he doesn't have magic. He's tricking an entire group of people.
But we knew that he didn't have magic.
Right. But like in the Wizard of Oz, they don't really be like outright he doesn't have magic. You know what I'm saying? No, they don't. Because he's like,
I can't do any of this shit that you guys are asking me for.
He didn't though. He was like, you already had it, so what can I give you? He doesn't. But
the courage was inside you all along.
Right. But and like he gives them tokens and things like that. Whatever.
Right.
They don't outright look at him and be like, you're a fraud, you don't have magic. But in Wicked, they straight up look at him and be like, you don't have magic at all. Read this fucking book, you little shit.
Right.
Yeah, and he can't. But like, right. I didn't.
Which begs the question, how did he come into power?
Because he came down in
a bubble dog.
Oh, and he was just straight up wrong. Like, he was arguing that point so well, but he was just so wrong.
Yeah, right. He had a lot of passion.
A princess!
He had a lot of passion.
Oh, he did.
But he was wrong.
He was wrong. He came down in the hot air balloon, and they didn't know what the hell a hot air balloon was, so they were like, this guy must be magic. He's flying right now. That's always been what it was, yeah.
He's just, like, technologically advanced.
Right, and then in Wicked, they're like, they go through that song where they're like, it's when the two original cast members come out and they start doing a play inside the play, breaking the fourth wall, and they're talking about how he came down and he like read from the book, but he probably didn't actually read from the book,
right? You know what I'm thinking? He was probably amigos with that bear, or like one of the other. Yeah, he initially started out as amigos with the bear, and then he convinced one of the magical animals to help him in creating the...
Or he heard them do the spell and just reset it.
I'm wondering if that's the end all be all. I feel like you do have to have some like innate magical properties inside of yourself.
Well, yeah,
before you
but
can
they're not
perform
saying
magic.
that you have to perform magic. They're saying you need to read the language in the book. So he could have just heard somebody else, you know, as he came down in the bubble tub. As he came down, and, you know, the bear is like, "Come in here, magic sir." And then
Right.
they read a passage from the book, and then he's
Right.
just like memorized it and spouted it out all
That's
willy-nilly.
true, because we don't see him perform magic, but that doesn't mean that he can't perform magic. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
Well, she throws him the book and is like, "Read, do a spell."
Right.
And he does not. And he's just like,
Right, but that could just be playing your cards close,
I guess so.
you know. Like
But that's what he has Madame Morrible for. And he
Right.
was going to replace Madame Morrible with Elphaba.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Monkey's pretty cool. Ew.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just a vibe that I got. As soon as he came on the screen, I was like, he's going to be the bad guy. I knew
Right.
he wasn't going to have any magic, right, going into it because, you know, I've seen The Wizard of Oz.
Right.
I did not, however, think that he was going to be the bad guy until he walked on screen. And I was like, man, because I originally thought it was going to be Madame Morrible. Straight up, I was like, she seemed kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I figured it was going to be her. But
I
I didn't
thought it
think
was
she was
gonna
going to be
be-
in league with the wizard.
I thought it was going to be I'm just going to call her Ariana Grande because for the life of me I cannot remember Galinda. I can't like just say like, "Oh, that's Galinda." I'm like, "That's Ariana Grande."
Well, she changes it to Glinda.
Glinda, right, in honor of Peter
Why did
Dinklage.
they do that? Stupid.
She oh crap, now I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
It's okay. Nah, it's gone.
We'll just look at each other until you remember.
Pause the podcast. Yeah, I can't remember what I was gonna say. Good podcasting.
We were talking about the wizard and how I figured he was going to be as soon as he walked on screen, I thought he was going to be a bad guy, but I figured.
I thought it was gonna be Ariana Grande's boyfriend.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
not
legitimate
her,
boyfriend?
Not her legitimate boyfriend.
Movie boyfriend.
Her movie boyfriend.
Got it.
Right. Because, I don't know.
I just thought he was kind of dumb.
Didn't trust him. I just
Really?
couldn't convince myself to trust him. Like,
Well, that's
he's
'cause
playing
he's a
both sides
cheater.
of the field right now
Frankly.
at this point, you know. He's not showing loyalty, and I feel like if the bad guys were to corrupt somebody, he'd be like the prime person to do that
Right.
to like turn him against, because he's got both of their favor
Right
now.
So my theory is, in the second part, the boyfriend, I can't remember what his movie name is, but he is going to like hear what's happening with Elphaba.
Fierro is his name.
Fierro, there we go. He's gonna like hear what's happening with Elphaba, and he's going to go and confess his love, and that's why Ariana Grande is going to turn her back on Elphaba.
Gotcha.
I feel like that's my. Oh, also the spoiler that I got for the second part is you were very right in your theory. She is supposed to gain the ability to walk. Nessa
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
She does not, because they got an actual wheelchair using actress. So they changed the script so that way she does not get the ability to walk, because you know that it would be kind of degrading to her for them to like
have
you
her
know
walk for
have
the
a
length of the movie.
well
and
have
then
her
have
put,
to go
they'd
back.
probably have to put her in a harness and
Yeah.
stuff and like help her walk, and you know it'd be kind of degrading to her, and
Surely,
everybody would be like, oh my gosh, she's cured, she's fixed, like in the movie, you know. And I feel like it was a good move on their part to not
Yeah.
do that to her.
So what my theory was that the ruby slippers that are now the
Silver slippers.
the silver slippers,
The Silver Surfers.
were enchanted by Elphaba to give her sister the ability to walk. But I have another theory.
Okay.
Okay, this is I don't think I mentioned this to you, but I think that Fierro is also magical.
Explain.
In the movie, right before they kick out or they introduce the new teacher, she uses those poppy flowers
Right.
as means of a like, what are they called, spell components,
Right.
to make everybody
Well,
fall asleep.
yeah, that's what the Wicked Witch. So I love that they did that because that's what the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz does.
Right.
She plants like poppy flowers, and as they're walking through, they fall asleep.
And, yeah.
So I think that was like a little nod to that to
Right.
the movie. I don't know if that happens in the play, but
I believe that at that moment in time, she wasn't capable of controlling her powers well enough to be like, okay, I'm going to make everybody but you fall asleep.
Right.
I think he used his magical ability. He saw what was happening and was like, oh, and like put like the anti-spell or the counter curse, whatever have you, on himself so that he wouldn't fall asleep. And then he's like, oh, well, how did you do that? How did you make everybody but me fall asleep?
you think he gaslit her?
I don't trust the man.
Yeah,
I don't trust
frankly.
him, frankly. Yeah. But, I could just be wrong, and Elphaba could have been like, oh, I love him, so I'll just leave him awake. But she also loved Ariana Grande at that point in the movie.
But they
sat next to each other.
They had just become friends. So maybe her subconscious didn't fully trust her enough. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like if she did leave Ferrero Rocher awake,
good name.
If she did leave him awake, I don't feel like she was fully conscious of doing it. It was just kind of like her feelings took over, and the feelings for him were strong, so they were like her,
yeah,
whatever. I don't think she trusted her enough at that point to
Right.
be subconsciously leaving her
Right.
awake.
Well, the problem is that she didn't even do the spell on purpose.
Right, exactly.
So
So I don't think anything that happened was on purpose. I think that like since her powers are so emotion driven,
Yeah.
it just like her powers like sensed this other emotion, if you will,
Right.
and just kind of took over
And
from
protected
there.
him. I want to see that scene where they curate the weather again. I don't know if that's the right word. Dispel the weather, where the Morrible dispels the weather
Oh, gotcha.
with her magic, and I want to watch what Fiyero is doing at that time, because that'd be a giveaway.
Dude. Oh, I don't think he was there.
He was.
Was he?
Yeah.
I know Ariana Grande was in the corner going, "My hair."
Right. She got wet.
She did, yeah. So that's why I think that they give her something. Since she turns her back on Elphaba, they give her something to
Right.
reward her, which is a wand,
The
that
wand.
already has been blessed,
And
much like Elphaba
enchanted.
did with the broomstick.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Or the monkeys.
The monkeys, yeah.
Yeah.
I had another thing.
Which those?
Oh.
Go ahead.
So with Ferrero Rocher, as they're like running through the woods with that cub, he like looks at Elphaba and he's like, I've got to get the cub to safety. He like makes like a reference as to him not feeling safe around her. So I don't, and then all of a sudden he was in love with her.
He was going to say something romantic to her, and he stopped himself from doing it by being like, I've got to take the cub to safety.
That's
Which
not
I mean,
what it
like,
sounded like to me. It sounded like he was like, I've got to get away from you, bitch.
nah, he like her. It's not about like, because he's always been kind of like entranced by her. He's been like,
Yeah.
oh well, you can tell she does what she wants. You got to give her this. She's
that's-
awesome.
That scene where they were doing that dance.
Yeah.
And he was like, she really does not care what anybody thinks. And then Glinda was like, of course she does. Like, she's just hiding it.
Right.
And that I think that's what clicks in her brain. It's like everybody's being so horrible to her. And I think that's why she like goes out on the dance floor with her. You know what I'm saying?
No.
She like did that nice thing for her.
She did that nice thing for her because Galinda accidentally did a nice thing for her sister, and so in turn, Elphaba did that nice thing for Galinda,
yeah.
and that's what made her be like, I've been kind of a bitch to you. Like, I'm gonna like.
Right.
She kind of went out on the dance floor, and I was with my son in the bathroom at this point. He went to the bathroom 4 times during that movie, and all of them were at the end. So I missed
single one of them.
so many scenes. But
and it would be like 30-minute intervals, and it's just because he's sitting there going to the water.
Yeah, making silly noises. Or he'll be like in the mirror making faces. All right, but
I think he was just getting restless. It was a long movie.
It was a long movie. What was I saying about the dance? So like it seemed like I didn't see when Elphaba first went in there, but the way that it seemed was that she had gone in there and did some dance moves that were kind of funky and people weren't really jiving with it, and she kind of like low-key cleared the dance floor and people were like, "Oh, what is this dance?" And then Ariana Grande went in there and was like, "Nah, like we can all do this dance," and she started doing the dance as well and made it popular.
Well, so what happens is you might have been in the bathroom during the hat scene.
Yes, I was.
Okay, so basically what happens is Ariana Grande is with her 2 besties, and they're getting ready, whatever. And the one friend is like rummaging through her stuff, and he pulls out the hat, and he's like, "Ew, what is this?"
I saw that. Okay. I saw her gift
She's
the hat
like,
to her.
Okay, cool. So then she gives her the hat, but they did it as a funny haha, a little goof.
Yes.
Right? So Elphaba shows up to the dance in the hat, and that's why the dance floor clears, because everybody's staring at her like being like, that hat is so absolutely atrociously ugly.
Right. I don't think they expected her to be there either.
Right. They didn't expect her to show up, is the thing. But she only showed up because Madame Morrible was like, or no,
I thought Ariana Grande invited her.
Yeah, she was like, "Don't say you don't have anything to wear. Here's this hat."
Right.
So she shows up in the hat, but she thinks that at first she was like skeptical of the hat, but when she hears the really nice thing that she did for her sister, she's like, "Okay, I'll go. No, surely nothing bad can happen, right?"
Right. Not
she
in this
goes in the hat, and everybody's like laughing at her, and like they're whispering, "That hat's so ugly." Yeah.
Right.
So Madame Morrible pulls Ariana Grande aside, and she's like,
Elphaba wants me to
Elphaba said if you don't join my sorcery classes, then she's going to quit them. So here's this wand, and you're gonna disappoint me.
Yeah, right.
And then she's like, you better thank her because she'll be here any minute. And then she goes out there and sees everybody being mean to her and stuff, and she wasn't gonna say anything to her until she started like crying and dancing.
Right.
Yes. Yeah,
see, so Elphaba was out there doing that dance that people were like not about.
Yeah, because they were all staring at her, so she's like, let me give them something to stare at.
Oh, okay.
Right. So they're already staring at her. They clear the dance floor, and she's like circling for a second, just staring at everybody. And then she starts doing the dance. The dance floor was like already cleared by then.
Right.
Because everybody was like, that hat's so ugly, and she's green.
Say less, get me out of here.
Less. Yeah. So then that's when Ferrero Rocher is like, she really doesn't care, and she's like, of course she does. Like, of course she cares. And I think it really, I think in that moment it sunk in how horrible she's been being to her.
Yeah. But I also think that moment was important for Ariana Grande's character because like, she's like, she doesn't care about what anybody else thinks, but then Ariana Grande's character probably cares too much about what everybody else thinks. When like they kind of need to like meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah,
where,
and I think that's why those two work so well together. Is like one of them has too little, one of them has too much.
Right. In both
Vice
regards,
versa.
like in terms of like magical ability and like social awareness, that kind of thing. They like they fill each other's gaps, but not in a gay way. I thought they were gonna do that when they during that. Loathing.
What's this feeling?
What is this feeling? I thought I was like, you're gonna really make this like hard right turn and be like, they love each other. Like, how dare you? Just like,
and
tell me the story. I don't need the romance.
Right, exactly. And like, if that were the way in the play, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But I knew that it wasn't, so I was so confused because they're like, what's this feeling? My face is flushing, my head is reeling, and I was like, what?
They are about to fall in love with each other.
They were like, does it have a name? Yes, it's loathing.
Yeah, right.
I was like, nice.
Yes.
Very good.
Right.
Great song.
One of the best.
Choreography, amazing.
And one of the better choreographed songs.
Yeah.
I think the best choreography was Ferrero Rocher song.
Oh, yeah. And he said that
Yeah.
they literally, I watched in an interview, he said that they literally hired parkour artists for that song.
You have to.
Oh, yeah. Like
what
when
they
they were
were
going
doing.
through the library thing
Yeah.
that turns.
The rotating room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that it took them 10 days and they hired like all parkour artists. And
Yeah.
he was like, I had to learn how to open a book with my feet. Ugh,
Yeah,
it's weird.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like that. So it's my least favorite song.
I didn't like the song, but the choreography
The
was awesome.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Maybe I'll listen to the song again later and be like, oh, yeah.
I tried. It's not my cup of tea. It just isn't. I think Loathing is probably or What Is This Feeling?
What is this feeling? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably my favorite one.
Your favorite song?
Yeah, so far.
I wasn't like overexposed to popular. Like like when I saw Wicked the other night was the first time I heard that song all the way through.
Right.
So like that's my favorite song it was funny
Really?
and
Oh, it is very
it's
funny.
so funny. Yeah. And that's what I'm here for the yucks.
Yucks,
That's
yeah.
what I'm here for.
I thought what is this feeling is probably my favorite because it's like it like throws you through a loop. You're like, oh, here's where they're about to become friends.
Right.
Oh, they hate each other.
Right, because I mean that was kind of the trope a lot of the times in the movies we watched as kids. It was like just for no reason at all, just through this one song, they're gonna become friends.
Right.
And they kind of like took that trope and kind of made fun of it and actually developed the relationship.
Yeah, and I like that they did that. They actually like showed the development, and it wasn't just like on a whim. They like each other now.
Right.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's all based on a lie.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I feel like
that's gonna come to light.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I don't think she's gonna come clean though. I think somebody else is gonna tell Elphaba.
I think Ariana Grande's boyfriend in real life is gonna be like Bach. Bach.
That's his name.
Oh, okay.
In the movie.
So Bach is gonna like be scorned by, or to some degree by Nessa or something.
Really?
Like,
I think that.
And she's gonna be like, he's gonna be like,
Rocher-
well, I only, asked you out because Ariana Grande asked me to.
Really? I think that Ferrero Rocher is gonna dump Ariana Grande, and he's gonna try to shoot his shot with Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
And she's gonna shoot him down.
Yeah, right. And Nessa's gonna like be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he's like, well, I only even did it because. So I guess
because Galinda's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. He might.
I mean, it's only him. Bach, Ferrero Rocher, and Galinda are the only three that know that is the blossom or the seed of their relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
But Bach is the only one out of those three that does not know she did it to get him away from her.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's the only one that could potentially be emotional damage,
Exactly.
which was an amazing impression. I'm shaking my head no.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts, comments, and concerns. I loved it. It was a great movie.
I enjoyed that movie.
And none of it was CGI. They built the bullet train. They planted over like 9,000 tulips or whatever it was.
They taught the goat how to speak.
Peter Dinklage. They turned him into a goat.
They turned Peter Dinklage.
And dude, the only reason I knew it was Peter Dinklage is because he uses his Game of Thrones voice, and I was like, at this point, I don't want to know what his real voice is.
We should do a Game of Thrones episode where I can just go ham donut and just absolutely go.
That can be your deep dive.
That can be my deep dive.
You can just sit here for an hour and
just
tell me about the books.
bitch and complain.
Oh, 100%.
Game of Thrones.
Yes.
That is something I would be interested in.
But only up to season 3.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. I can manage.
Yeah, and we can make multiple as I continue to watch the series.
Cool bees.
We can make multiple.
Cool bees. Well, we have to go because I have to get a haircut for my little sister's wedding. Shout out my little sister.
Shout out little sister.
I won't say your name because
we'll say it
we're
in
gonna
the next
go viral.
one out of spite.
Unless I have a really good time at your wedding, and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
I love you, baby sis.
Aw.
And I love you.
Aw.
And I love a lot of people.
Peter Dinklage.
I love Peter Dinklage. Holy shit.
He's so good.
He's great. He's so great.
He's so funny.
We get and to hear him sing. I love the welcome visitors and the fellows of the fellowship. I love you all. The crows.
Jon Snow.
Very good.
Jon Snow.
All right. Well,
let us know what you thought of the first part of Wicked.
Yeah, please.
And look, if you're a theater kid, like, tell us what you thought of it. Don't spoil the second part, but tell us if you liked it, tell us if you hated it, and tell us why.
And if you acted in the musical The Wicked.
Why are you watching this?
No. Like,
in the musical.
Yeah, because, like, high schools and middle schools and that kind of thing. They put that stuff on colleges. We're not going to limit it to underage people.
Yeah, let's do colleges.
We'd prefer... Right, we'd prefer the colleges.
This is explicit content, children.
Yeah, right. Where is your mother?
Mom, she's watching dangerous stuff again. We are not good influences. Get her.
Right. All right. Anything you want to say to your fans?
Hi, hello, and goodbye also.
Anything you want to say to your haters?
Hi, hello, and goodbye also.
That's a good message.
Yeah, just let us know what you thought of the first part of the movie.
All right.
Also, did you get the souvenir cup? Because I'm pissed. I didn't get it. Why don't they put something in it? Like, why?
I don't know.
They were like, we can't open it. We can't put the hot chocolate in there for you. I was like, oh, is it going to melt? No, we're just lame.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted the cup, but
I
wasn't paying $25 for an empty cup.
For an empty cup? Yeah.
No.
Miss me with that one.
Miss me with that bullshit.
All right. Peace up, A-Town down.